Hi guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be going over some of the basic steps for styling your hair on your wash day. This video was requested by a few people in the comments of previous videos, so I thought I would film it for you guys. Please keep in mind, I am not a professional. This is based on my own personal experience and what I have learned over the years of having wavy curly hair, and these are just like some things that, like I said, I've learned work for me personally. So I'm just gonna go over some different techniques and types of products and just like what I do to style my own hair and kind of walk you guys through the basics. So I really hope that you will enjoy this video. If you are new here, I would love for you to subscribe down below and give the video a thumbs up if you enjoy it. It really helps me out. I also have my Instagram and my Twitter linked in the description box, as well as my second channel, which is a fragrance channel. On this channel, I do mostly hair videos though, so yeah, if you guys are interested, please keep watching and let's get into the video. All right, so I am filming shampooing and conditioning my hair, but I didn't feel like I needed to show every detail, so I sped it up really fast. And I will say, I feel like this shampoo does need a lot of like water added into it, so I'll dip my head under the faucet every now and then. By the way, this is the Umberto Giannini, I think it's called their Curl Jelly shampoo and conditioner. I've really been enjoying these, but yeah, I just feel like the shampoo needs a lot of like moisture added into it because it is very thick and like creamy and lathery. So then I'm just conditioning and finger combing, and I am like shaking my hair kind of off my scalp, as you can see, so that I don't have like hair sticking to my scalp. And even though you can't see all of it, I did squish to condition really well to get all of that conditioner and moisture in there. But I just feel like the texture of these is just so nice. But I'll have them linked down below along with everything else I use. And then at the end, I do go ahead and squeeze out some of that extra moisture with a t-shirt just because I don't want my hair to be dripping while filming. All right guys, so I'm going to be styling upright just because as much as I do love my results for the most part when I style upside down in the bathtub, I just feel like I get a little bit of those wonky pieces at the root, or like my hair clumps more at the root, so it's hard to find a nice part that's even for my hair, if that makes sense at all. So I'm going to be styling upright, and I'm going to start with a leave-in. So that's where I usually start when it comes to styling my hair wet. So there's different ranges of leave-ins, like with every other type of product. You have a clear spray leave-in, so this is very, very lightweight. It basically just looks like water, and you spray it throughout your hair to like start off the styling routine with some good moisture. And this is something that I would use when I'm using heavier products or I just don't feel like I need as much moisture that day. And then I also have a cream leave-in, which this one is pretty light. You can get cream leave-ins that are as thick as a curl cream, but I tend to go for lighter ones. Again, it depends what styling products I'm using with it, but I feel like I like more intense, stronger hold styling products usually, so I'll go for a lighter leave-in. I think today we'll go with the Verb one because I haven't used this one in a while. Both of these are like kind of OG ones that I used to talk about all the time, and now I have so many different leave-ins, but I still love these, so we'll go with the Verb one. Like I said, haven't used it in a bit. And basically, I am going to use a small amount of this, and there's different ways that you can apply product into your hair. Now, if you're using a spray, obviously you're just going to spray it throughout your hair and scrunch it in, but with cream products like this, I like to smooth them over my hair and then scrunch them in after. I kind of flip my hair around to get it evenly distributed, but you can also rake through your hair, which is basically just finger combing like I did with my conditioner. Some people feel like that gives them better product distribution, but for me, I feel like it does separate my hair a little bit more, and I like to promote more clumping. So that's why I kind of smooth it over my hair with the praying hands method. So I'll just go like this. Again, like I said, I'll kind of flip my hair around and scrunch. Now, like I said, I feel like I get a little bit better clumping this way than I do if I rake it through my hair. I've also heard that some people will just go ahead and scrunch their product straight in, especially if they have like shorter hair, which that might not be an issue if you have shorter hair, but I feel like for me, I would question how well the product distributes if you're just going straight in and scrunching. But I definitely like to do a lot of scrunching after I've smoothed it over. Gotta wipe up some of the water that's on the floor now, because I should have mentioned I do like to style my hair while it's still pretty wet, just because I feel like I get the best results as far as clumping and less frizz that way, but some people do like to damp style and wait a while, which in that case I would recommend raking because it is a little bit harder to get that really nice product distribution with damp hair. It just distributes better with wet hair in my experience. And then the next product that I would usually go in with, if I'm going to use it, would be a curl cream. Now, sometimes I will do like a heavier leave-in that's a little bit more of a curl cream texture, because usually this is kind of like a thicker, more pudding-like texture than a leave-in. And then I will combine that with like a gel or a mousse or something instead of using a curl cream, if that makes sense. But I do like to use curl creams a lot. I know that they're really, really good for more coarse, dry hair as well. My hair is kind of in between, so it just depends on the day for me. But I'm actually gonna try out this Heritage one that they just sent to me. I'm really excited to try out their curl cream because I've tried some other products from them and really liked them. You guys know I really like their leave-in. It's a little bit thicker, but not as thick as a traditional curl cream. So we're gonna see how this one is. Let's see, I don't think there's like a stopper on that. I guess we'll go with that. Smells like the rest of their products. Has a nice texture. It's a little bit balmy, if that makes sense. It's not super opaque and thick, which I like. I tend to like a curl cream that's not too heavy. So again, smoothing the product over. I might go out of frame because I think I'm going to flip my head upside down and scrunch one more time. I really like the smell of those Heritage products. Okay, and then the next step, if this is what you would choose to do, would be to use a mousse or a gel. Some people just stop at a curl cream. That's totally fine, just depends what you're going for. Mousses and gels generally have better hold unless you have something like a foam type mousse, which I'll get into that in a minute because that's kind of a separate topic. But usually I would not combine these two products and use them both because it's just unnecessary, and then you kind of might have too much product in your hair. I feel like you only really need one to get really nice results. If you were going to combine them, I would recommend doing the mousse first, just because in my experience, it's best to do gel as the last step in your styling routine. It's just, a gel is just a little bit more stiff, and so it's better, like I said in my experience, to use it as the last step in my routine if I'm going to be using a gel. Sometimes I will just use a mousse, sometimes I'll just use a gel, sometimes I won't use either, and I'll just use a curl cream. But today I think we're gonna go with the gel because I really have been loving this Curlsmith Hydrosol Flexi Jelly. This one is a little bit milky almost in color. It's not a completely clear gel, but it has a really good hold and it smells really nice, just like a clean, fruity floral scent. And I'll do the same thing with this, just smoothing it over the hair, like that much. Hopefully you guys can see. And when I am scrunching my hair, I like to get all my hair up in there, squeeze a couple of times, like squishing, kind of how I do with the squish to condition when you're conditioning your hair, just so that all of that product gets in there and you're like promoting the most shrinkage that your hair can have. Again, flipping my hair upside down. And those are all the products that I'm using today. I am going to do one more thing, but first I want to quickly go over the foam that I mentioned earlier. It's a little bit of a different type of product. I mean, there's so many variations with these products. You can get like hybrids and unique product, which you know I actually really enjoy trying like different unique kind of products that haven't been overly done, if that makes sense. But we're going to talk about a foam. So this is from Cantu, but honestly it's named a curling mousse. This is definitely a foam in my opinion. It's a lot lighter than a mousse. It's very thin and airy, and a foam is mostly water, and you can tell just by how you pump it out next to a mousse. A mousse is thicker, more just like puddingy, if that makes sense. I also have the Not Your Mother's one that is very similar in texture to this one, but this is the type of product that I would definitely use before a gel or before a mousse if you were going to style it with a mousse. And I feel like it depends on the person. You could do it underneath a cream or over a cream. I would definitely do it after your leave-in product though. But that's just sort of like the order that I would use it in if I was going to style with a foam. But generally I like to use a foam more on my refresh days. I did a whole video on a foam refresh that I tried out and I got really nice results. So that's an option for refreshing. It definitely takes a little bit longer than a normal refresh, but it gives you really beautiful results. So that's how I would usually use a foam personally, although I do every once in a while use it on my wash days as well. I am going to now grab just like a soft shirt. You could totally use a silk scarf or something if you're gonna do this. This is just for me to get some extra moisture out of my hair so that it's not dripping wet the whole time. It's not completely necessary. I just feel like it gets some moisture out, helps a little bit more with shrinkage and all of that. So I'm gonna go underneath my hair with this and squeeze out some of that extra moisture. It's not a ton at this point, but okay. And then the next thing, of course, is to dry your hair. 9 times out of 10, I air dry my hair, and it's definitely recommended to not be touching your hair a ton while it's drying, just so that you avoid creating more frizz. I will say in the past, I have actually, before I really discovered what works best for my hair, I would scrunch my hair the entire time while it was drying. And I know that some people say that that helps them with more shrinkage and definition and volume and all of that. So if that works for you, you do you. I'm not here to tell you exactly what to do, but I found for me that I just prefer not touching my hair because, like I said, it is going to decrease the amount of frizz you'll have at the end of your routine. Depends what you like. So yeah, do what works for you. But if you are diffusing your hair, which is something that I will usually only do when I'm short on time, and I need to get my hair dry before I go somewhere or before I'm filming a video or doing something, then you are going to be messing with it most of the time. I don't recommend drying your hair until completely dry, just because I feel like you end up getting like some wonky pieces then, or I don't know, for some reason, letting your hair dry for at least the last like 10 to 20%, I feel like just helps you get the least amount of frizz, the best clumps, and then also just the most uniform waves or curls, so that it's not like you have wonky pieces. I always use that term, wonky pieces, but just pieces that stick out weird or don't curl in a nice formation. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend diffusing to fully dry, but I usually would most of the way or half of the way. I might diffuse a little bit today because I want to get this video done before it gets really late. But if I have the time, I usually just let it completely air dry. I'm usually too lazy to pull my diffuser out if I don't need to. So that's what I usually do, but do what works for you, again, like I said. And it takes some time to figure out what is the best way to style your own hair. But right now, I'm gonna let it air dry for a bit, and then I might diffuse, and then I'll be back when it's dry to show you how I finish off the styling. Okay guys, so I have to be honest with you. I filmed this clip and then it somehow got deleted because when I went to upload the clips to my laptop to edit them, I could not find this last clip. I was very disappointed, but I just redid my hair, restyled it because it's been a couple days, and I'm here to show you how I finish off my routine. So one thing that I forgot to mention before in the other clip was that I do like to flip my hair back and forth, just lightly, you know, while it's drying so that I can get the most volume possible, which I will say I have a little bit less volume today than I did the other time. Sometimes that just happens. And then also the other day as well as today, I did diffuse for like 5 minutes, just a little bit of pixie diffusing to speed up the drying process, but nothing crazy. It really just helps a little bit. So yeah, I did that the other day and I also did it today because I was just trying to get my hair dry as fast as possible so I could film this. What I would usually do at this point is scrunch my hair out with an oil. So you don't have to do this. I know some people feel like oils weigh their hair down. You can always use a silk scarf or a soft cotton t-shirt or even just your dry hands, to be honest. But for me, I feel like when I use an oil, I use a small amount, and then also I don't usually smooth it over my hair first unless I have extra frizz. So just going right in and scrunching, most of that ends up at my ends. So it's not really so much of an issue to where I feel like my hair gets weighed down or anything. If you have very fine hair and like really loose waves, it might not be the best option for you, but this is just a step that I like to do in my routine because it's like one of my favorite parts of my routine. It just finishes my hair off and helps it look extra shiny and defined and keeps from creating more frizz and like messing with my hair too much if I were to just scrunch out my crunch with dry hands. So anyways, I will say also the other thing about today is that I don't have as much of a cast either, so there's not that much to scrunch out. So I'm going to go ahead and use my Innate Life Rose Hair Elixir. This one I use like 1 or 2 drops of it because it's very rich. It's not a super thick oil though, it's just very intense because it's got like a bunch of organic oils, and I do feel like this one does more long term for my hair. So I have been using this one more recently. Just 2 drops. Then I just kind of rub this all over my hands, scrunch. Again, like I said, I don't have that much of a cast today, but generally I would have a little bit more of a cast. And then when I feel like I've used like the majority of the product and I just have a little bit of a residue on my hands, I'll go ahead and put my fingers up in here into my roots and just kind of gently massage and shake a little bit to make sure there's no hair sticking to my roots. Sometimes I'll get like a cast up there and it'll want to stick to my scalp. And then also just for extra volume again. And these are my results, you guys. So obviously every hair day turns out a little bit different, and this is a couple days later, but my results are still very, very similar to the other day. It's crazy, honestly, guys, that shampoo and conditioner that I've been using from the Umberto Giannini brand. I don't know what it is, but those do something for my hair. Like, I'm telling you guys, I don't feel like usually shampoo and conditioner make that big of a difference in my routine, but I don't know. I feel like I get just like juicy, plump hair. There we have it. I really, really hope that this video helps you guys out in some way. Maybe you learned something new if you are just getting started in your curly wavy hair journey. Let me know what other videos you want to see from me, whether it's hair videos or just other videos in general. I am going to be doing an updated refresh routine pretty soon here, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, other than that, I really hope that you guys did enjoy the video. Give it a thumbs up if you did, and subscribe down below if you have not already. And I will see you all in my next one. Bye.